Alright, this will be kind of a quick one. So there's kind of a blessing and a curse when it comes to self-hosting everything. Not even just self-hosting, but having like some no-name website instead of like, I don't know, posting your shit to a reputable journal or something. You know what I mean? What I'm talking about is I was looking up because somebody had asked me what went on with NixOS, and I was like, oh yeah, NixOS, everybody's heard about that. And then I went to look it up, just like the NixOS drama where they banned all their contributors and stuff. And I couldn't find it for the life of me. And what had happened was, I was like, man, I guess you kind of just had to be there. Because, like, obviously, Lunduk had made a video on it, but there's a lot of. It's hard to quote Lunduk as, like, a credible source because everybody just assumes he's, like, some right wing extremist or something. So they're like, oh, he's gonna be super biased, you know? Can't trust anything he says, even if he shows you the post he's talking about. But I found that on his website, because he links a lot of stuff and then he doesn't fucking post the links anywhere, so I can't find it. Like when Mozilla did that weird what was it, some sort of conference in Zambia or something. I was like, oh, where is that post? I'll go look it up myself because people asked about it and they're like, oh, don't cite Lunduk, cite the actual source. And I'm like, oh, I can't find it. I can't even find it on his webpage. Now, I probably just don't know how to use his webpage, but that kind of brings me back to what I'm talking about, which is if you have a website called girlcockblog.xyz and you want to post your like information that people may want to read in the next few months, and you don't have like an extreme social media presence or something, because like Drew DeVault's blog even is hard to find. You know what I mean? Like that should a lot of this stuff doesn't get indexed by Google because your own website doesn't have very good SEO, and there's you can't really get good SEO these days. But there has to be like a place where all this stuff can be indexed and searched from, because a lot of that was kind of one of the benefits of Twitter. Was with Twitter, all of your posts not only are anybody can read them, like a bot can scrape through them, but search engines could link to them in case you looked up that tweet. You could actually find the post. Now you couldn't view replies without an account, but who gives a shit about replies? So but Facebook posts, like those, that shit just gets lost in time. If you post something on Facebook, you're just fucking sending it into the void. It's not gonna be there for very long. So it's kind of this kind of a counter argument towards everything on the internet is permanent, because yeah, it's there, but how are you going to find it in the future? And I think that's something, especially in the Linux space, where some of the stuff that we're talking about is kind of niche. And so it's really hard to dig up old information that may have gone on, because a lot of this Linux drama stuff, I mean, it's on the mailing list. Like, you have to look up the mailing list, you have to find it somehow linked somewhere. And there's a lot of, because we're a more technically minded space, we're not using big platforms to do this. It's all being shared on like independent blogs or whatever. And because of that, I'm finding it very difficult to find this information that I think I know, you know, and a lot of stuff gets memory hold because of that. That even though you know the information, you can't find the website. You can't figure out where it was posted because it's just some Yahoo's website. You know, and I think that's something to think about as time goes on, because a lot of people would consider that a feature where they don't want their stuff to be indexed, but the people I've talked to where they don't want their stuff to be indexed, they also are people that really don't want to be out in the public for a good reason. You know what I mean? So I don't know. If you have something important to say, please ensure that it is kept somewhere where people can find it. You know, if something you're talking about is important, it's a bad idea to have it just on a personal blog. that has your own domain or whatever, because it's hard to find, and then nobody will see it. Or the people that do see it but don't subscribe to your blog won't be able to find it later. And that's the situation I find myself in, is that I'm like, yeah, I don't subscribe to every RSS feed on the planet, and so I lose all this information, and I feel like I've repeated myself a bit too much now. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks.